A Las Vegas City employee is dead this morning after being shot by New Mexico State Police.
And this is the second shooting this week involving state police. This one started yesterday about 4:30 when 911 got a call about a suicidal man here at the Dave Jones Mobile Home Park. It's on Castle Drive. State Police Chief Pete Casetta says officers got there and they found Arsenio Lujan with a rifle.
Officers at the scene negotiated and actually pled with him for about 30 minutes to put the weapon down, to not harm himself or any others.
Chief Casetta says when Lujan opened the gate and raised the rifle toward officers, they shot and killed him. Now we know Lujan worked for the city of Las Vegas, and the chief said there had been some kind of altercation there earlier in the day, but wouldn't say exactly what. Casetta has also not said who shot Lujan, but the officers involved are all on standard administrative leave this morning. At 5:32, the Albuquerque City Council had promised that they were not going to take any unruly behavior last night. And let me tell you, they didn't.
A handful of protesters were actually escorted out of last night's meeting. News 13's Samantha McDonald is live from the Newsplex with more details on how it all played out. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Matt and Elizabeth. The scene last night was different from the one on Monday, but still some public speakers spoke or left a silent message behind.
If not, I will ask you to leave. Miss Anaya? Miss Anaya, I will ask that you be escorted out of the building. Mr. Gomez, you need to address the council.
You're not really worth addressing.
If you're speaking on P1, you can stay at the podium. If not, I'm going to request that you leave the chambers. And Rod, I'm going to ask that you be escorted out of the building.
Ain't gonna let nobody.
New rules were put into place after Monday's meeting was stopped when angry protesters upset over recent police killings commandeered the council members' chambers. The rules included no signs or props, only one person at the podium for 2 minutes at a time, and no outbursts or interruptions. And it was hard to miss the security presence. There were about a dozen guards inside and outside the meeting. When protesters tried the same move of standing silent at the podium with their backs to the council, they were escorted out of the meeting.
We were then detained by the police officers in a room and cited, given a citation of criminal trespass. We were told if we returned to participate in the democratic process of city council meetings within 90 days, we will be jailed immediately.
Chief Gordon Eden was notably absent until about 9 o'clock. He walked in with APD brass. The meeting lasted well into last night. As for the rules, they are all temporary, and the council will discuss permanent rules at their May 19th meeting. Elizabeth, back to you.
Okay, Sam, thank you very much. Councilors discussed the proposal they were looking at Monday night before protesters took over the chambers. It calls for City Council to confirm a mayor's choice for police chief, something the mayor opposes. No vote was taken. A judge in Taos refuses to drop the indictment against the woman who made national news when state police shot at her van while her kids were inside. We're talking about Oriana Farrell. She drove off after she was stopped for speeding near Taos in October. Now, she was stopped again, and things got ugly involving her, police, and her son. Then when Farrell got back in her car and drove off again, another officer shot at the van. No one was hit, and that officer was later fired. Well, Farrell is charged with aggravated fleeing and child abuse. In court yesterday, Farrell's lawyer argued the grand jury proceedings leading to her indictment were flawed. The judge, however, disagreed, but cleared the way for an appeal.
The mom from Valencia County, whose 15-year-old son is accused of killing his friend, will be heading to trial herself. A grand jury indicted Loretta Villalobos yesterday. She is now charged with negligent child abuse resulting in death and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Police say her son Brandon here beat and killed Alex Madrid in a field in Meadow Lake back in February. Investigators say Loretta knew her son was violent but never got help for him, and that contributed to little Madrid's death. Or a new report out shows bullying may be behind the shooting at that middle school in Roswell earlier this year. A lot of people who know the accused shooter, Mason Campbell, say that in the latest report, but state police are not confirming it. And we already knew from Campbell's Facebook page and Instagram that bullying was an issue with him. Every time someone, including Campbell's mother, mentions who the target or targets may have been, it's blacked out in the report. State police say they believe the shooting was random and that Campbell even warned a few friends to leave the gym before he fired off a shot and hit 2 kids. Witnesses say after Campbell was subdued, he cried and said he was sorry and he never meant to hurt anybody. Campbell has a hearing set for next week where his attorney says he'll take full responsibility for his actions.
A new study out by the Guttmacher Institute shows teen pregnancies across the nation is reaching historic lows since the 90s. But the study shows in 2010, New Mexico ranked #1 for teen pregnancies.
Yes, sadly, less than half of teen moms go on to graduate from high school, but a new program here is trying to change that. It's New Mexico Grads, and it's now in 27 schools in the state, including Santa Fe High. Right now, teen moms take classes through the Teen Parent Center, and in the fall, they'll be with the group specifically called NM Grads.
We'll be able to dedicate time to real case management of looking at individual students' needs, all the way from their academic needs, their social needs, emotional needs, and certainly their economic needs that have changed because they've had a child.
There will be 2 teachers for the program next school year, one at Santa Fe High, another at Capitol High. Teen dads can get in on the program too. And take a look at this. It really does look like it works. Last year, 82% of teens in this program graduated from high school compared to just 50% of teen moms across the country.